What's up, guys? I want to give a huge shout out to Dynamic Weapon Solutions for cutting my Glock 17 Gen 5 slide. Let me get the camera turned around, show you what this thing looks like. They did amazing work. I can't wait to get this RMR mounted on it and get it to the range and see how well it runs and works. I did send in my factory slide. I'll show you what a normal slide looks like and kind of what they did. And then I'll show you some other slide work that they did for me a few years ago. Let me get the camera turned down. We'll take a look at these. Okay guys, so here's what we're looking at. This is the 17 slide, the hybrid slide cut as they call it, that they just did for me. You can see how well they did on cutting this optic cut right here. They do put the ledges in right here that will coincide with your RMR, so it kind of locks it in, keep it from sliding around. This is kind of what helps from breaking the screws off. This is what a lot of people said when Walther did theirs, that they didn't put anything in it like this for the PDP and it can cause the screws to break. But Dynamic Weapon Solutions do include those, so you won't have that issue. You can see how precise their millwork is and how well it came out. I know you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you these are night vision optic height sights. And I always use a yellow front because I use a red dot. Also, Dynamic Weapon Solutions do include a lightning cuts on the side. They mill down the sides on the top right here as well. They do some mill work right here and recess the front end of the slide and a little bit more lightning work on this side as well. So let's take a look at a 19 Gen 5 versus what Dynamic Weapon Solution did. You can see how this is rounded and they kind of mill this off here. You can see how the front right here is more squared off, where they kind of mill this back and then recess this. And then again on the other side, they also include some lightning cuts on this, which will take out some of the stuff like this right here. But you don't need all this stuff like this serial number on the side, because your frame has this serial number on it. So that is the main part of the gun that has to have a serial number. They do leave the Glock logo and they take off most of everything else. The main thing is you can now put an optic on this. A lot of people buy the MOS version, but for me personally, I prefer to mount my optics straight to the slide versus mounting them using a plate system. It's just one less thing to actually go wrong with your optic mounting system. So anytime I can actually mount straight to the slide, I do that. I do have some slides that use plates, but I do prefer this method if I can get it. Now, I wanted to show you this. They didn't do this in this run, but they have done this slide for me before. I think this is one of the best looking slides on the market. This is their Mark III Reaper slide. You can see right there, Dynamic Mark III. It does have some windows right here on the side. You do get some, I guess, they kind of mill this in and leave it a little wider on the bottom. Now they can't take this. This was a Gen 4, so it didn't actually have caulking serrations in the front, so they actually added these. Now you can't change the direction of these. I sent this slide in as well to have done. You can buy milled slides from them and it will have the serrations angled like these. But if you send in yours, they can't change the direction of these. They're already in there, but they do the lightning cuts here. This one is cut for an optic, and you can see they did their mill work on the top, and you can also get plates to cover that optic cut if you chose. And it actually matches the millwork on the top. You go to the opposite side, you can see the lightning cuts over here as well, along with the window and stuff like that. And then again, a little bit of recess right here, a little bit of millwork right there. And again, I think this is one of the best looking milled slides I've ever seen. I really like the way they do these. But again, this hybrid slide is pretty sexy as well. This one, the Gen 5s do have the caulking serrations in the front. And so again, they can't angle those because they're already there. But let me go mount up this RMR and we'll take a look at what it looks like on the pistol. Okay guys, so here it is on the pistol, the slide on the frame, in other words. with my Surefire X300 Ultra FDE Light. Again, just no play in this. I mean, it's just cut so precisely. As you can see right here, I am running an RMR, the first gen, the Type 1, so I am running one of those battery seals or whatever that has the push up for the battery so it doesn't flicker. But I will be getting a Type 2 for this before too long, because this is the gun that goes in my Safari Land battle belt setup. So this would be the pistol that I grabbed if the world fell apart. Again, go check out Dynamic Weapon Solutions. They just did a amazing job cutting this slide, exactly what I wanted. I can live or live without windows, and a gun setup for something that I wanted this for. I think I prefer not having windows, so this hybrid slide cut really fit the bill for that. But let's get this thing to the range now and see how she shoots. All right, guys, at the range now. As you can see, I have already sighted this thing in. I didn't figure there was any need for me just, letting y'all just watch me sight in the optic. It is a Glock. I've actually already reviewed this gun, so we're not going to put a ton of rounds through it. I have several hundred rounds through it now. But I do just want to highlight, like I said, what Dynamic Weapon Solutions did to the gun. Again, go check them out. If you're wanting some slide cuts or optic cuts, they do amazing work, as I showed you earlier in the video. The thing is maintaining zero. We'll take a look at that here in a minute, but for now, let's throw on our ears and eyes and put a few shots downrange. Okay, so I gotta get used to Glock triggers again. I'm so used to shooting SIGs and other guns. You've seen me kind of flinch there. It wasn't really a flinch. I didn't let the trigger reset all the way. Where I'm used to these shorter reset guns, such as the P365 and stuff like that. This one takes a little bit longer to reset. And I know a lot of people is gonna say no way, but you've seen it right there. I don't have that issue with my SIGs. And I know a lot of people's going to throw a P320 comment in there, but we'll address that later. I don't carry a P320. I carry a P365X macro. But you've seen the gun shoots flat. I really like the Gen 5 Glocks, and this, in my opinion, is about the perfect configuration for an SHTF gun. And I'm going to tell you why. There's nothing wrong with like windows in your slide, but for me personally, this gun is going on a battle belt, so if just the crap hits the fan, this is what I'm going to grab. And I know dirt can get in other places, but I don't want to have a place for more dirt to enter the firearm, enter the trigger mechanism and stuff like that, the internals of the gun. And this offers the hybrid slide that they did, offers the optic cut, which is what I was wanting, because I do prefer optics on pistols, and just enough of the lightning cuts on the slide here to make it very functional and easier to manipulate. Now, you think these right here don't really do nothing, these little cuts on the slide, but it actually makes it a little easier to get a hold of the front of the slide. This is how I usually rack my gun. I don't actually come back here or like this. I usually grab it up front and rack it like that. You see it in most of my videos. And this actually aids in that. You wouldn't think it would do much, but it actually does help. I can notice a difference in the way these are slanted right here on the side, the way they cut these down versus just a regular rolled slide. In my opinion, it makes it a little bit better. Overall, I think this gun just looks amazing. I love the FDE that they did. It gives it a little bit of a two-tone look, and I really like this FDE. It's actually one of my favorite colors on a pistol, and I actually like it better than this lighter color. The darker is actually something I do prefer over the lighter. In my neighborhood neck of the woods, darker colors actually do better than lighter colors. There's a lot of green over here. I do prefer FDE, but in my surroundings, green would probably be better. But I do actually prefer FDE. Let me throw up a target and we're gonna check the accuracy of this. I mounted this last night, like I said, or night before last, I can't remember. Yesterday's when I mounted it. From this video, I torqued these down to 18-inch pounds and used blue Loctite. So let's see if it's maintaining zero. I probably put, I'm gonna say 50, 75 rounds through this thing, just sighting it in and messing around with it. And then I put another 10 there. So maybe 75, 80 rounds today. So we've had enough rounds through it that if it's going to affect the zero or the optic cut or something like that, that we'll be able to tell it. If the optics came loose or anything, which I can tell you right now, the optic has not come loose. This thing is just crazy, crazy tight. It's not going anywhere. But let me throw up another target and we'll just check that out. Okay guys, just shooting some Winchester white box 115 grain. Again, Gen 5 Glock 17 that Dynamic Weapon Solutions did the slide work and the optic cut. See what kind of accuracy we can get out of this. What kind of accuracy I can get out of this. That'll do. All right, let's go look. Now there is a few targets down here because I didn't switch them out from where I was just sighting it in. So this top target up here is just where I was sighting in. This right here is what I just shot right there. It's 5 shots at 10 yards. Yeah, I'll take that, and I'll say that it is definitely holding zero, and they did an amazing job on that optics cut right there. Again, if y'all are needing some optics cuts, go check out Dynamic Weapon Solution. They've done like 3 slides for me, and every one of them has came out perfect. They've got them back to me very quickly and done an awesome job. Again, they did completely do this slide and Cerakote it, so they do Cerakoting as well, and it came out amazing. Go check them out. Tell them Gear Runner sent you, and I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.